Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. Today's video I'll be showing you guys on how I made this beautiful luxury bobo. It is very easy to make. I use brocade fabric mixed with ashoke to achieve this style. So if this is what you would love to learn how to make, please sit back, relax and enjoy the tutorial. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, click the red button down below to subscribe and also click the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. So without further ado, let's move right to the tutorial. On the table, I have 4 yards of brocade fabric and ashoke. The length of the ashoke is 90 inches and the width is 20 inches. So I'm going to fold the brocade. I'm going to fold it into 4. I first of all folded it into 2. Then from the folded edge, I fold it again, making it into 4. So this is how I always fold my fabric. Whenever I say my fabric has been neatly folded into 4, so this is how I normally fold the fabric, and I will place it nicely on the table. I measure neck width 3 inches, neck depth for the back 1 inch. From the center back to where the sleeve will stop is a puff sleeve. I use the total length of the fabric, 28 inches. Then for the sleeve opening, I measured 23 inches. Is a puff sleeve. I want the puff sleeve to be big. That is why I measured 23 inches. Then I connect that into a straight line. Next, I measured the length of the bubu, which is 65 inches, including hemming allowance. At the lower part, I impute my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. The total measurement that I have at the lower part is 15 inches. So I came in from the sleeve opening, I came in by 4 inches. Then from there, I slant the ruler to meet the measurement at the lower part. Then I curve the armhole. That's about it for the drafting. Next is to cut it out. I cut out the back neckline and I notch the center back. Then I cut the bodies. Next, I'm going to open it up and spread it on the table to cut the front neckline. Just watch the way I'm going to open it. It is very easy. When you spread it on the table, make sure that you arrange it properly. From the shoulder, I measured 8.5 inches neck depth for the front. Then from the 8.5 inches, I measured 2 inches straight down. From the folded edge, I measured 2 inches straight down. After that, I'm going to rule that into a straight line. From the neck depth, I measured 2 inches. From that 2 inches, I will rule that into a straight line. Then from the neck depth, from the 2 inches on the neck depth, I'll connect it to the neck width like so. After that, I'll cut it out. If you have been following my videos, you should be used to this method already, because I've done this particular tutorial more than 3 times on my channel. The only difference is that this particular one has a puff sleeve. This is how it looks after cutting. The width of what I cut out is 4 inches. So when I'm cutting the lapel on the ashoke, I'm going to add 1 inch to it, which will make it 5 inches. So the next thing you will do, from the center back where we notch, you will measure from that part through to the neckline and straight to the hem. The measurement that I have is 72 inches, but when I'm cutting on the ashoke, I'm going to add extra 6 inches to it in order to be on the safe side. So I first of all measured the 72 inches, then I added extra inches to it. Then for the width, I measured 5 inches. I will rule that into a straight line and cut it out. I'll be needing 2 of it, so I'm going to cut out 2 long strips. After cutting, I check what I have left. Is still more than enough to make for another client. So I folded the remaining ashoke and I put it aside. Next, you will place the ashoke together, right side facing each other. I trim out the edges. The part that I'm pinning down now is going to be my center back. Next, I will take to my sewing machine. I'm going to join the two ashoke together. After joining, I'm going to open the seam and give it a good press. So from my center back, I measured my neck depth. I measured 14 inches. From my center back again, I measured where I want the front slit opening to start from. I measured 42 inches. Let me show you how to measure on your body. Place the tape on your center back. Then take it through to the front. Wherever you want your neck depth to stop, take note of the measurements. Mine is 14 inches. Mine is 14 inches. Then again, place the tape at your center back. You will measure where you want your slit opening to start from. I measured 42 inches initially on the ashoke, but I'm going to increase it to 44 inches because 42 inches is too high. It's going to be showing my lap and I don't want my lap to be showing. So I increase it to 44 inches. Then you will find the midpoint of the ashoke, which is 2.5. From the neck depth, you will measure 2.5 till you get to the 44 inches where your front slit will start from. Then I will rule that into a straight line. The part I'm ruling a straight line is where I will take to my sewing machine to go and stitch on. I'm going to stitch on the line. First of all, I will join the fabric together at the center back. After that, I will take to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew on that straight line, that midpoint measurement. That is where I'm going to sew. Let me quickly do that and show us the next step to take. I've sewn it. I joined the center back. I'll open it up and give it a good press. Then from the neck depth, I backstitch 3 to 4 times and I sew on that midpoint line till where the front slit opening will start from. I'll first of all place the center back on my ironing board and give it a good press. After that, I'm going to weave the edge. After weaving the edge, I'll fold into 2 this way. Watch the way I'm folding it. You fold it into 2. Then after that, I'll give it a very good press. I always measure 2 inches for my elastic casing. So on the sleeve opening, on the wrong side of the sleeve opening, you will measure 2 inches and rule that into a straight line. Whatever you do to this side, you will repeat the same thing on the other side as well. You will move to the other side, measure 2 inches for the elastic casing. and rule that into a straight line. After that, I'll fold in 1/4 inch and fold again to be on that 2 inches mark. Then I'll take to my sewing machine and stitch it straight down. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Next, you will measure your bicep. Measure your fitted bicep without adding any seam allowance. Mine is 15 inches. My fitted bicep is 15 inches. So on my elastic, I'm going to minus 2 inches from that 15 inches. I'm going to cut length 13 inches on the elastic, and I'll cut that into 2 places. So if you are making for your client, always ask for bicep measurements, because we women, our arms are bigger than each other. Some are fat, some are slim, and some are medium size. So always ask for their bicep measurements, and whatever measurement they send to you, measure 2 inches or 2.5 inches away from the measurement. I have ironed the ashoke very well. It is very relaxed. So the next thing to do is to pin the center back. The part that we join the 2 ashoke together is our center back. So I'm going to pin that part to the center back of the bodies. After that, I'll flip the bodies to the wrong side. Watch this part carefully. I decided not to fast forward it. When you flip it to the wrong side, you will realize that it is kind of twisted and it will be very confusing. So you will dip your hand into the ashoke like this. From the neckline, you will bring it out. By so doing, you will be able to pin the bodies to the edge of the ashoke easily. So you can take to your sewing machine and sew directly on the ashoke without pinning, or you can first of all pin the ashoke to the bodies before sewing it. So you will continue to pin the ashoke to the bodies. You carefully pin it on one side, then you will also move to the other side and repeat the same thing. You will continue with this process till you get to the hem. So after pinning, I will take to my sewing machine. I will sew 1/2 inch round the lapel. After that, I will take it to the weaving machine. I'm going to weave it. Then, because ashoke frays a lot, I will use bias tape to tape the edge as well after weaving. I've joined the ashoke to the bodies, as you can see. After joining the ashoke to the body, I took it to my weaving machine. I weave the edges. After weaving the edges, then I use bias tape to tape the edges as well, because ashoke frays a lot. So with the help of the bias tape, it will secure it properly. It will not make it to fray. It will, because it has covered the edges of the ashoke. I've also passed my elastic through the casing, as you can see. So after passing the elastic through the casing, make sure that you spread out the gathers, make it to be even. So the next thing to do, I'll fold the bodies into two. This is the final step. I'll fold the bodies into two, then I will sew the sides. After sewing the sides, I will open up the seam. I will give it a very good press. Then the armpit area, always remember to notch that part, that curved part, so that the sleeve will be relaxed around the armpit area. Make sure that you notch that part. Then open up the seam, give it a good press. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Hem the down part, trim it if necessary, hem the down part, and that's about it for today's tutorial. Guys, we've come to an end of today's tutorial. As you can see, the final look is giving rich auntie vibes or dogo vibes, luxury Bubu. And if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, click the red button down below to subscribe, and also click the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. This is the final look, guys. Until I come your way next, please stay safe and remain blessed. Thanks for watching. I love you all. Bye.